This is Kaye with KG Realty Group, powered by Biggs Realty. And today is our first Entrepreneur of the Month interview. Yay, so excited. These interviews are just going to discuss what's going on with Aubrey and Dallas community. And today we have Tammi Culmann. She is so awesome. She is the CEO and founder of Women Need Hope. But before we begin, definitely click that subscribe and like button, and feel free to share this interview with anyone that you feel that might need this help, or maybe you might need this help. All right, so let's begin. Hello, Tammi. Thank you so much.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about Women Need Hope.
Okay. Well, Women Need Hope is a nonprofit that I started back in 2013. It's a faith-based organization that was presented to me at that point, and I finally got my 501c3 in 2015.
Okay.
So Women Need Hope it started out, and it still is this way. It's not a brick and mortar. I don't have a place that you can come and see me. It's basically Women Need Hope, breaking generational cycles of abuse one step at a time.
Oh, wow.
So it deals with any kind of abuse or trauma that either a woman or her children, animals, because it covers three areas: women, children, animals, that might be going through that. It's not just abuse in the sense of domestic violence, so I want to clarify that. It can be any kind of trauma. So I deal with women who have come to me that have been through domestic violence, or women that have been through trauma in ways that, say, growing up. Let me give you an example. I, for instance, went through, I dealt with some things when I was younger in my teenage years with anorexia and bulimia, and that's trauma to your body, to your mind, and to later on down the road. So it can be anything that has created trauma in your life that you feel like you just can't move on and do the things that God has given you to do. So it's a resource center. I am a resource person. I'm a connector. I connect people to resources. So if someone needs shelter, I would give them information on who to contact. If they need protective services for their children, I would direct them in that area. If they need counseling, whatever the case may be for the woman or the children, in case of the abuse for the animals and trauma, I would find places for safe havens that they can foster and take these animals in immediately, because most of the time, in most cases, that there's an animal involved, and so we have to get them placed immediately. So anyway, that's just kind of some examples of places and resources I would send out to. I wouldn't just be the one that does all the work, because I don't have backgrounds in most of this, and plus I don't have the capability of doing that, but I can direct and connect them to the right places.
Okay, so you set up everybody, in place so they know exactly where to go.
Exactly.
What to do.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Based on their situation. Yeah.
Okay. That is awesome. And then what made you decide to start your company?
Well, I didn't decide that. That was kind of a divine intervention from the Lord. He gave me Women Need Hope. As I moved on, he kind of gave me the tagline as I started working with other people who were involved in similar organizations. And I had a group of 2 or 3 people that were pretty strong about what I was doing and were in favor of what I was doing. So it was just kind of one of those, it started with the name, then the tagline came, and then how to break it out. What was my target market, and then children, women, and then animals. And so that's kind of where it all started. It kind of was broken up, and then I had some experiences in various nonprofits that I was volunteering for, and really saw that this was a big need out there. It was definitely a big need.
And I think that's a little bit different as far as with this company as well, because you guys actually help with spiritual guidance.
Exactly.
I like that.
Right. Yeah, it covers all components. It helps people if they're going through physical, they're going through mental, They spiritual help, all of it is uncompatible. In fact, one of my books talks about that, called Healthy Living in God's Way.
Oh.
And it covers the physical, it covers the mental, the behavioral, and then the spiritual. Because my background is, I have over 30 years experience in health and wellness, and I started physical, and God kind of took me through it that way. First the physical, then the behavioral, then how do you take care of your body, physically on the outside, but then what are we going to do on the inside? And that was the part that I didn't have, was the inside inner healing. And that's what I see in a lot of women, is that inner healing indoors is what God took me through. And then he said, now I'm going to show you what the spiritual healing looks like, and this is where you're going to take this next step, next level. Yeah.
And then you wrote actually more than one book.
I did.
Right?
I did.
And then what are the books that you did write?
My very first book is called Hello's My Friend, Joy Shines in All Opportunities. And that's more of a healing book for myself, a testimonial book of some of the things that I went through, including trauma as either a young child or just throughout my adult years, different things that I went through, and how God had always placed that glimmer of hope and joy in every situation. Even though you may feel like you're losing it and everything's out of control, God's still right there in the middle of it all.
Yes.
So that was my first book. That was a 3-year writing book. It took me 3 years because it was very painful to write it. There were things there that were very difficult to pull back out of me, because it was just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go back there again. But God is good, and he took me through it. And the second 2 books, which I have with me, I don't have a copy of the first one, you can get it on Amazon, are these 2. One of them is the Healthy Living in God's Way, and then this one is called If God Doesn't Live in a Box, Why Should I? And this is a journey book about God bringing me from I'm from Indiana originally. I was raised and born in Indiana.
Yes.
That's so cool. I love that.
I know.
And how he brought me to Texas for 5 years to show me the state of Texas. And I wasn't planning on coming to Texas. That was not the direction that I was moving to. I was like, Texas, are you kidding me? And so, but as I came here, each and every time, I just fell in love with people in Texas. And then I ended up coming here and living. And so as I came here, I wrote these 2 books, and it's just basically learning to trust in God and saying, okay, if he doesn't have any boundaries, you shouldn't have any.
Exactly.
You should step out of your comfort zone, because I still have to remind myself of controlling and surrendering.
I think that's all of us.
But this brought me into I don't have anybody to rely on except for the Lord, because I have no one here in Texas. I had no friends, and this is not a pity party. I had no friends. I have no relatives. My kids are all back in Indiana, or one's in New York, and so it was a true faith walk. And when I say a true faith walk, I mean it's crazy. But God blessed me with women along this route that I had to kind of intervene with, even though myself was going through some things. I had to sidestep that and go, okay, it's not about you right now, and move on and trust in the Lord that he would get me there. And he has. He's been very faithful. So, and obviously, here's Kaye, and she's from Indiana. What would have?
I know, both Indiana.
That's all God intervention. That's how he works, and that's why I love him so much.
And we definitely had a journey to Texas. Me too. I didn't think I was going to be in Texas. This was not my life plan. But I'm glad that I met you, and I'm so excited to share this with everyone, because I want to make sure that everybody knows that you're out there, because a lot of women are going through this in silence.
Exactly.
And they feel embarrassed, and they don't know who to contact. And so, if I am a woman in need, or if there is somebody else like that, how do they contact you? What is the best way for them to reach you?
Well, the first thing they could do, if they're a little bit nervous, just to know who I am, because it's a tough thing. I mean, I'll use an example, like just being in the gym setting for many years. I would tell people, you walked in the front door, that's the first step, okay? Then we take it baby steps from there. We're not going to try to get you, to be a bodybuilder in 5 minutes, because that's impossible. So I always tell people, just baby steps. Total baby steps. So the first baby step I would take is to go in and look at my website, which is www.womenneedhope.org. And that's out there, and kind of walks you through it. You can also go and check out my books on Amazon.com under Tammi Culmann, Culmann. That way you can kind of see a little bit about who I am and what I've done over the course of time. And then if after that you want to contact me, you can contact me through either via Facebook, so I have a Facebook page, or you can reach out to me via email, which is tculmann@gmail.com. I don't really use my Women Need Hope. I have people come directly to me because I feel that that's a little bit more intimate if they can come directly to my personal email. So that's just various different ways they can reach and get a hold of me, and then we can have a conversation from there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much
You're
for being
so
here
welcome.
today.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for just making a difference in our community.
Oh,
This is
you're
something
welcome.
that's really needed, really all over the world, but it's good that if you're in the Dallas area, you know who to contact.
Absolutely.
And if you need Tammy's services, I will also leave her contact information below. And again, click that like button, subscribe to us. We really appreciate it. And this is Kaye with KG Realty Group, and thank you so much for watching this video.